Hey, what is happening, you creaky crabby? That's right, Urshifu is finally solid in the meta once again. It took a while, but now with the kind of decline in play of Mew and not having to play a ridiculous amount of tech dark stuff to beat that matchup, you can finally once again, I mean, I guess you could have always been playing Urshifu this whole time, and like the Urshifu with the dark package stuff was okay. It was hard to play like that build and still consistently beat Palkia though, so that was kind of the problem. But now that Mew's in a place where you can kind of just like take the L to it if you want and still do well against a majority of the meta, Urshifu's in a pretty good spot again, and I've been loving this list. I really love playing Urshifu in general. There's always a bunch of cool different ways you can play the deck, and this is the way that I've been loving playing it recently, now that you're not just hitting Mew every other game on the ladder or like every other game in tournaments as well. So it's a very heavy Cheryl based build. There's only 2 Cheryl, so it sounds weird to say heavy Cheryl based, but usually you play 1 and you don't even use it every single game. But this deck is trying to use Cheryl at least 2 times in most games, and sometimes 3 or even 4 through the Pal Pad. And we don't actually play a super thick Urshifu line, the 3-2, but we really only plan on setting up 1, maybe 2 Urshifu per game. Usually just 1, to be honest, is how we kind of go through with it. We just kind of Cheryl it over and over again until we get far enough ahead in the prize exchange that we're okay with letting one getting knocked out and going into another, or closing out the game with G-Max Rapid Flow. We've got some usual suspects in here alongside the Urshifu, of course. Actually, I'll talk about that one last. 2-2 Artillery. Back to the 2-2 Artillery. I like to get the Artillery out on this list. I hate to have the Artillery prized. And yeah, so can't prize it, don't really want to prize it, so we play a 2-2 Artillery. We do play the heavy ball, so if we play like 1 Remoraid, if we prize it, we could get it, but it is a pretty big focus from our opponents pretty often, so I do want to be able to set it up really quickly after our opponent should choose to target down our Artillery. I want to be able to reset it up pretty aggressively, and it's pretty easy for my opponent to kind of target down whatever they want. If they hit our active, we just kind of retreat and Cheryl, and we're only doing 150 damage per turn. If they have Manaphy on their board, they're protected from the G-Max Rapid Flow, so kind of need the extra Artillery to be able to set it up aggressively, because we're not as aggressive, whereas if our opponent ignores our Urshifu, we just kind of win the game. And then of course the Inteleon line, 4 Sobble, 3 Drizzile, 2 Shady Dealings Inteleon, because this is super important to make sure we can Cheryl chain, so prizing it we basically just lose the game, to be honest. And then 1 quick shooting Inteleon to set up 2-hit KOs sometimes with the Urshifu, fix some math between a Gale Thrust and a G-Max Rapid Flow, or more importantly, start pinging Sobbles or Manaphy's to set up for some Yoga Loops with the Medicham V. Always such a sick addition to any Rapid Strike deck. The rest of the deck's pretty straightforward, nothing too much to talk about. We play a lot of Pokemon Recovery. I play a Rescue Carrier and a Ordinary Rod, because once my opponent kind of sees that I'm Cheryling a lot, they'd be like, I do kind of want to draw prize cards, and they start to focus on our Drizziles, our Artillery, sometimes our Manaphy, and that can be really annoying if we're up against a Palkia deck, because once they KO the Manaphy, they can use the Greninja to do the double 90 snipes and clean up Sobbles and Drizzile. So we got to keep the Manaphy in play, and the Rescue Carrier does that really, really aggressively, which is really, really nice. And we are near the Irida based build for the early game and any mid game turns where our opponent doesn't hit our Urshifu, or we don't want to Cheryl on that turn. Got Irida to use on those turns alongside a couple other supporters besides the Cheryls, 1 Marnie, 1 Roxanne, and 1 Boss's Orders. We got Irida based build, looking for that turn 1 keep calling. I've actually been choosing to go second with this deck, because even when I go first, I usually just keep calling on the second turn almost like 90% of the time. So I've been choosing to go second with this deck, use the Irida or opening Sobble to get off a turn and keep calling, because keep calling is so much more powerful in a deck like this than something like a Palkia deck or an Arceus deck, because not only does it find your other Sobbles, but it can find your Urshifu or Urshifus and your Remoraid as well. So it really fully sets up your whole strategy. So really aggressive about that turn 1 keep calling through the Irida. And that's the only thing I really want to mention. I play a Tool Jammer in here because Palkia can hit pretty hard, and we're going to fill up our bench pretty often, so this shuts down the option of the Choice Belt from my opponent. So Tool Jammer does that, and that's kind of it. So let's go ahead and let's get into some gameplay so I can show you guys what this deck is all about and how it runs. And if you want to catch some more games with this deck, go check out the secondary YouTube channel, AzulGG2, where I upload a bunch of the best games from my live stream over there consistently almost every single day. Pretty much, I've been uploading over there about like every single day as of late. So go check out the secondary YouTube channel. You're missing out on a ton of content. And of course, if you're not checking out the live streams, you're also missing out on a ton of content. Twitch.tv/AzulGG. Links for both those in the description. Also have a link to the VOD channel here on the YouTube. So if you can't catch the live streams at all, but you want to catch what went on during them, I upload the full unedited Twitch VODs from the Twitch stream over here on YouTube, over at AzulGG VOD. So check out that as well if you want to catch some of that action, or just catch out the live stream itself. And let's go ahead, let's get into some gameplay, and I'll show you guys what Urshifu is now all about. All right, here we go. We got that Sobble started. The Irida's in the hand, so we're going to be able to pull off that turn 1 keep calling it no problem. Another Remoraid and a Sobble to back everything else up. And then we're up against a Manaphy, Water Deck Box. I'm going to go ahead and guess Palkia from my opponent here, which means we do need to get a Manaphy of our own into play as soon as possible, because otherwise the Greninja can be a little bit annoying to deal with. We don't really want to have to, or give our opponent the option of the Greninja, so we do want to get our Manaphy out as soon as possible. There's a capture into the Sobble. To get another Sobble, actually. Okay, now I'm curious. They didn't get a Palkia, so maybe it's not Palkia. I'm going to go with the Irida. I don't really need to get... for a second there, I thought I prized all my Urshifus. I don't really need to get... What do I even want to get? I kind of want to get Octillery. And then I get to get an item card as well. Maybe Scoop Up? No, I'm going to have to retreat the Sobble. I don't really need a Scoop Up net. Maybe an Evolution Incense. I don't know. I don't know what I want. Maybe an Energy Search. Let's go with an Energy Search. I'm fine with that. Raid, Sobble. Then keep calling. I'm going to go ahead and get just one Urshifu. Because they could just be playing Arceus. Well, if they're playing Arceus and Inteleon, wouldn't they have captured out an Arceus as well, though? I'm so confused by what by how my opponent played that. I'm just confused as to what we're actually up against here. There's a bucket, though. So that means it is a Palkia deck, right? They just chose to not get a Palkia off that capture energy there, which is super bizarre. But we'll rock with it. We'll rock with it here. Do need to get a Manaphy down now, which means I do have to use a Scoop Up net to get a Sobble out of play, which is like one of the reasons... Oh, Candy and Inteleon. Okay, maybe that's what they're going for here, is to be able to get out the Candy and Inteleon. Actually, this is actually kind of interesting because I actually can't KO. I actually can't KO this Inteleon. I do not have I just don't have a Raihan. I don't play the Raihan, so I can't actually KO this. I can hit it for 150 damage. That's not a KO. There's a Palkia. I could go for a boss knockout on something instead, which is what I might go for here, to be honest. I might go for a boss KO somewhere. I don't know on what I could just boss punch the Palkia, to be honest. I might just go for that. I think I will just go for the boss punch on the Palkia. Here comes the Aqua Bullet. KO the Sobble. Set up some damage on a bench Sobble. I could also KO the Manaphy, and that gives me access to G-Max Rapid Flow later on. But I think I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for the Palkia chase here. I'm gonna go for the Palkia chase here. I like that the most, I think. Set up a Sobble, chase a Palkia, see where it goes from there. Like I said, I do have to use a Scoop Up net here. I don't really want to do, but we'll be okay with it. There's a Scoop Up net top deck. Love to see it. So I'm going to do this. I need to play the Energy Search. Get a Fighting Energy. Play the Level Ball. Get that. I need a boss. Our boss is in there. And then use this to get the Urshifu. Sounds good to me. VMAX to the hand. I am hoping that the Palkia can't KO us here. I don't think it'll be able to. Yeah, I also don't have to bench. A quick ball here. Yeah. I don't have to bench the Drizzile back down, actually. I think I won't help try and avoid getting KO'd. Actually, I might put it back down. Oh, no. I prize my Manaphy. And my Heavy Ball. I did not check that. Now that I have, I really wish I just hadn't checked it still. Might be okay, though. I'm just going to go ahead and grab another Urshifu. That sucks. That's not good. Don't do that. Alright, whatever. Pick up the Drizzile. Set up the Urshifu. Boss. Yeah, that's really bad. I should definitely check I was going to say you should check your prize cards. Which you should, but I should also check my prize cards. Bench a Sobble. Seems fine. Gale Thrust for 150. Not what we wanted to do, but what we're going to have to settle to do this turn. I guess we'll have to be okay with that. Yeah, not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. But we can knock out this Palkia next turn and kind of go from there. This does kind of leave open the option for my opponent. Maybe because I saw their Manaphy, I thought it was like my Manaphy, and I was like, okay, Manaphy. Well, Manaphy and Heavy Ball being prized is just like not the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but not super likely, and pretty bad, to be honest, overall. Not a big fan. And I guess if they want to attack with Palkia this turn, they might have to use... Well, I guess they could go with a double cross switcher play, like bring out my Drizzile or something. Maybe they can get to the bench and use the Radiant Greninja this turn. That would also be pretty bad. But they might be able to do that as well. That'd be bad. That would be bad. It would take their V-Star power up. They wouldn't have any extra energy in play, and we would be able to Roxanne next turn. As long as that's not prized. I didn't check for that either, but early Roxanne is still pretty good. And then we do have ways to recover our Sobbles and Drizziles and all that fun stuff. Play a decent amount of recovery cards in this deck for those situations. So should be able to get that rocking as well. So to be honest, I think we'll be okay here. There is the Palkia. The question is, how are they going to do this? And if they do Star Portal, then our Manaphy being prized is kind of fine, to be honest. If they do Star Portal so they're active here, which they are, we don't have to bench Manaphy anymore, which, to be honest, actually just ends up being better. I don't really want to put Manaphy in play in this matchup, and it's just when I have to that I do. They did still attach to Greninja, which is a little bit scary, because if they do play the Raihan, they could still attack with the Greninja. So I'm a little bit scared of that, to be honest, but hopefully they don't. All right. Evolution Incense. Going to get one of our Shady Dealings Inteleons, which will get us the Cheryl and the Energy Surge, I believe is what I have to grab here. I have to go with the Tower of Waters, or I could set up a... get Tower of Waters. No, I gotta get Cheryl. Cheryl Scoop Up Net actually is what I gotta get off this. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting there. Cheryl Scoop Up Net, and then I'll get the Cheryl Scoop Up Net. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Grab the Tower of Waters off the Rapid Strike Search for the Tower of Waters. Go ahead and play the Cheryl. Okay, I'm doing this right. I'm just like making sure I'm doing it right. Tower of Waters. Retreat. Scoop Up Net. I kind of want to chain out a Drizzile here because I do want to get to quick shooting. I do want to start quick shooting a Manaphy set up for like a Yoga Loop play at some point. So I think I will chain out a Drizzile here. Also, my opponent kind of knows I only have the Inteleon in the hand, so if they went like Boss KO Drizzile, I might get stuck. So now this sets up a little bit better around that. I do have my Rescue Carrier in the deck. I'm gonna go Energy Search for my last fighting here. And we'll be chilling. Here we go. Gale Thrust. Also get 2 prize cards to work with here, which is a big deal. Our hand is a little bit lacking in options besides the Inteleon, of course, so a couple more cards would be nice. Tool Jammer, Quick Ball, no Manaphy, and no Heavy Ball. That means we don't have the option of Manaphy on the next turn. Here comes the Inteleon. Now, this Inteleon is super annoying. I guess that's another reason to get the quick shooting out, to be honest. Draw Aqua Bullet. Okay, so not a whole ton happening on my opponent's side of the field. Maybe I could go with like an aggressive play here, actually. We could get off a double quick shooting, net reset. Okay, so hang on. We can do some shenanigans here, and I think I'm going to go for it. A Rapid Strike Search for quick shooting. Actually, no, Rapid Strike Search for the Rapid Strike Energy. It's the only way to get the Rapid Strike Energy. And then I'm going to Irida for quick shooting plus net. And plus Scoop Up Net. And then Quick Ball away and Urshifu to grab the Metachamp. There we are. We're gonna do some shenanigans here with the quick shooting. Go ahead, quick shooting Sobble. Scoop Up Net, reset. Bench this down, throw this down. Quick shooting the Sobble again. I will then evolve to the Drizzile. I'm going to go ahead and get myself one of those Cheryls for the next turn. And I'm going to go ahead and throw down the Metacham. Rapid Strike Energy. I'll go ahead and throw the Tool Jammer here. I don't think it's going to end up anywhere else for the rest of the game. So go ahead and get that out of play. I didn't have to do that quite yet. And then, yeah, Yoga Loop the Sobble. Get that out of play. Get ourselves a prize card to work with. What do we get? An Escape Rope. Now I can go get a Rapid Strike Energy. Cheryl my Urshifu in Drizzile. I didn't even realize that, to be honest. I can quick shoot in the active here, and then I can bring this up and Gale Thrust for the KO. And I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good. We'll see how it goes from here, but I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot. I don't know what you all think. Remove their Sobble from play. Can't complain. Took out their Inteleon. If they only play the one Shady Dealings Inteleon, we're gonna be a pretty good spot. The Radiant Greninja gets sent up, which makes me a little bit scared of Raihan, because that taking out Sobble and Drizzile, I would be able to Roxanne. So it wouldn't be the worst. It would be pretty bad, but we could maybe survive through it, I think. Here comes an evolution. It says, let's see if they play the second Shady Dealings. A lot of lists do play the double Shady Dealings. But with how my opponent played out their last turn, I would think it's maybe prize, especially if they play the Rare Candy. Pretty good indication that they play two, but there's the well played. Yeah, I thought they were kind of living off the Sobble into Drizzile there, so I was like, I kind of want to prioritize that loop on the Sobble. Then it also sets up the quick shooting Gale Thrust KO on the Inteleon, because that was something we were kind of struggling with there, was KOing that Inteleon, and really kind of pick apart my opponent's board on this turn, which we were able to do. And they're hitting me with the well playeds, but they haven't conceded yet, so the game's, it's not over till it's over. We'll see if they choose to concede this turn or not. And my hand is not like that great. It is better than my opponent's. I'm pretty confident it's better than my opponent's. I guess I don't know. I don't know what's in their hand. Let's take a look here. Definitely got some scoop up nets left. I don't have a ton of options, but Escape Rope is actually pretty good here. So I think we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna go ahead and Rapid Strike Search. Probably just grab a Rapid Strike Energy. I should have probably Escape Rope first. I'm gonna Escape Rope now. Yeah, I should have opened up my turn with Escape Rope. So we can take out the Drizzile, the Manaphy, or the Palkia. That are all great targets to remove from play here. My opponent does send up the Drizzile, so I'll send up my Metacham. I do have one Scoop Up net left, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the Inteleon this turn, get the net to reset it, and I also want to get the... Oh no, did I prize my Palpad? I was gonna get Palpad. Turns out it's prized. So I'm gonna get the Scoop Up net. And to be honest, from there, I'm not too confident what I want now anymore. Like, I had a plan. Once again, didn't check my prize cards, so we're kind of at the mercy of my misplays. Maybe I'll go for the Ordinary Rod and, like, recover. Go for the Ordinary Rod and recover some energy, to be honest. I wouldn't hate that. I don't really need anything else out of the discard pile, so I could do that. Sheesh. Yeah, that was a misplay. That was definitely a misplay. Quick shooting the Manaphy. I kind of want to leave the net around to be able to like reset the quick shooting next turn and just like KO the Manaphy. I want to keep the pressure on that Manaphy. So it makes me want to Irida for this. And maybe Ultra Ball at this point. And my opponent just conceded. Okay, well, we'll take it. I think we're in a really good spot. I was going to ping the Manaphy, set up the Drizzile to be able to like do a net reset thing. I just should have just like not done anything that turn, to be honest. With the Palpad prize, I just shouldn't have done anything. I should have just waited and then had the double ping play on the next turn. But yeah, we're able to pick them apart on the turn prior. And we get that dub over the podcast. I'm going to go for the gameplay with the Urshifu deck. Like I said, Urshifu has always been such a cool card to play with all the different kind of ways to play it there has been throughout its existence in the meta. And right now, it's a new way to play it again. Now with Mew being quite a bit less popular than it has, it's made a resurgence into the meta as finally being a viable deck once again. And the deck's always been such a ton of fun to play, so I definitely recommend you guys check it out and try it out. There's a bunch of different ways to play it too. There's this way. There's a couple others. I might share some of those with you guys. Not next week because I'll be away at Worlds, but maybe when I get back from Worlds. Like the loop plays with like the Radiant Blasters and stuff. I haven't had a whole ton of time to try those out yet. But yeah, maybe when I get back from Worlds, we'll experiment around with that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.